to Talking Tea with Auntie, my sweet peas and sugar dumplings. And today we have another special episode, as they always are, where we are talking to a very special friend of mine who does jewelry making. And they are full of creativity, the ability to craft, and just ingenuity to turn something that once was mundane into something beautiful. And that is Eliza. So let me bring on Eliza for you to meet and learn from. Eliza.
Yes.
Hello, my love.
Hi.
Tell me, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little stressed, not gonna lie, because I'm getting ready to go to a big week-long LARP next weekend.
That sounds fun.
Next week on Tuesday. Yeah.
And are y'all flying or driving there?
I'm flying. My wife and our roommate are driving with my wife's parents, and it's in Pennsylvania.
And we're currently in San Antonio, Texas. Yes. So that's a lot. Well, thank God you're flying.
Yeah. It's a 24-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
And they've got their stops planned.
Good.
For the way there and the way back.
That's going to be fun, at least. At least you don't have to do that.
No. I get to stay home and hang out with the dog for a couple of days.
Oh, that's nice. So tell me about you. How old are you? Where are you from?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm almost 43. I'll be 43 on Saturday.
You look my age. So
And like I said, I live with my wife. We have our roommate, Callie. I've got 3 cats and 1 dog.
Oh.
And right now I'm kind of fun employed, doing, whatever.
Whatever it is you want.
Yeah.
And just living.
Just living. My early life, we kind of moved around a lot. I was born in Houston.
Okay.
And then I don't remember a lot until I was about 4 or 5 when we lived in Georgia and then moved back to Texas. And then we moved to Corpus Christi, and I was there until I turned 18.
Okay.
Because we moved to Corpus Christi when I was like 8, 3rd, 4th grade, right around there. I don't remember. It's been a minute. That was the late 1900s.
Let's not say it that way. Can we not? Can we not say it that way?
But it makes you feel like a fancy Victorian lady.
I'm in bed sometimes with consumption. So by the late 1900s,
yes,
you would turn 18. Well, I hate saying it that way so bad.
I turned 18 and I moved to Arizona to go to school. And I lived there for about 10 years and left my now ex-husband and moved back home.
Ex-husband?
And so I've been, ex-husband.
Okay. So you went from husband to wife. I love that. It's a beautiful tale, and I love it so much.
And I lived in Corpus Christi for a while, and then we moved up. Me and my wife moved up to San Antonio, and we've been here 12 years.
Oh my God. And so you do jewelry making. So how did that, have you always done crafts?
I've always been crafty. When I was little, my mom taught me how to do counted cross stitch.
Oh, wow.
And so I did counted cross stitch and just made random things. And when I lived in Arizona, I got into belly dancing.
Oh.
And that's something I still do. And part of belly dancing is all of the costuming. And I had a hard time finding jewelry that I liked that was unique and wasn't just the same thing in different colors.
Fair. So
I started making my own stuff, and then people wanted to buy stuff from me.
And how long ago was that?
I started selling jewelry about 4 years ago. I've been making it for, 10, 12, a long time.
And what made you start wanting to sell it instead?
Because I like making it, but I can only wear so many pieces. And I can only own so many pieces.
That's fair. And so what part of the jewelry making process what is your favorite hobby that you have? Because it sounds like you have quite a few hobbies.
I do. Oh God, I do so much stuff. I do all sorts of crafts. I knit, crochet, sew, a little bit of yarn spinning.
Yarn spinning?
Yarn spinning, like turning wool into yarn.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's pause and take a side moment. How does one get into yarn spinning? Is it, because you said crochet and knitting. Was that the yarn spinning a natural outcrop of that, or did it start there?
Kinda, yeah. So a lot of people, when they get really big into fiber arts, it just kind of, you start off learning to knit or crochet, and then you're like, I kind of want to make my own yarn. And so you go into that, and then eventually I want to weave. I do have a loom. It's kind of big. I got it on Craigslist for like $25.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I have a knack, apparently, for finding things online marketplaces.
Honestly, that's fair, as
Yeah.
you should. As you should. So, okay, how does one, because this is going to be fascinating, how does one, what was it, a wool spin? Like, do you have a cow? Oh, not a cow, a lamb.
No, I don't have any animals. I live in the city.
Yeah.
Well, kind of on the outskirts of San Antonio.
So do you buy wool in,
Yeah.
like, just...
I don't process it or anything. So
Okay.
I get it. It's already carded and combed and washed and all that. And then I have a drop spindle, and you literally just twist it and pull out the fibers, and it twists together and turns into yarn.
So just don't prick your finger like, oh, what's a Sleeping Beauty?
So I don't know what she pricked her finger on, because maybe that's just like a medieval spinning wheel. But spinning wheels now don't have any sharp things on them. I don't have a
Really?
spinning wheel yet.
Okay.
That's in the future.
Because wasn't it like it was like a seat, and then there was a big wheel in front of you,
Yeah.
and then you poked something, there was something poking up at the top.
I think what she actually, like, I could be wrong.
Okay.
I think what she poked was the distaff,
Oh, what
which is another part of the spinning wheel that holds your fiber.
Okay.
So you don't have to like have it on the floor or hold it or something. But I don't quote me. I may be wrong, but the spindle's not sharp. It's a piece of wood. Mine's square. I've got a chunk of square wood, and then it's got a stick, and it's got a little hook somewhere. I don't remember.
It exists.
Yeah, it exists.
And so do you prefer the fiber arts, I guess is the term for it, or do you prefer your jewelry art, crafting?
Yes.
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 Yes, in general.
Yes. I don't know. I chase that serotonin.
I mean, honestly,
I go from project to hobby to project to hobby.
ADD too as well?
Yeah.
ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to call it ADHD
Yes. ADHD, autism, all that good stuff.
now. All of the letters, which honestly...
Pretty much, yeah.
And I love that,
Yeah.
honestly. And so you love all of your crafts, and I believe you're wearing one of your pieces right now. That is stunning.
Thank you. It's a chunk of amethyst, and then I call it a dragon's hoard because it's just kind of a bunch of stuff.
I love
And
that.
I glued the amethyst geode on using industrial adhesive to some fabric, and then sewed all of the beads and all the little bits and bobs to it, and the chain.
Oh, wow.
Using embroidery, because I do embroidery too. I do a lot of stuff.
How many things get off the top of... We'll get back to the jewelry.
Okay.
But how many things off the top of your head?
Okay, so we're just going to count all the fiber arts as one thing.
Okay.
So the fiber arts, sewing, costuming. I go to Renaissance fairs. I do belly dancing. I do weightlifting.
Oh my God, weightlifting.
Weightlifting, yeah. It's not something I ever thought I would get into.
Really?
I was never an athletic kid.
Well, honestly, I get that.
Yeah. I did shoot archery, but that's different athleticism.
Yeah.
It's not, general athleticism.
Yeah.
And my wife and some of our friends had been going to a gym for about a year,
Mm-hmm.
and they really liked it, and they were having a lot of fun. And I'm like, I want to see what that's about. So they have a 30-day trial thing. So I signed up for that, and I'm not going to lie, I hated it. I hated it for that first month. I swore up and down I was going to quit. I wasn't going to do it again. My wife made me promise that I would do it for at least 30 days.
Uh-huh.
I would at least do everything for the trial, like all the classes that I could. And I did, and I swore that I was going to stop. I swore I was going to stop. And the last day of my trial, I was in there, and the coach is like, so do you think you're going to keep doing this? And I'm just like, yes.
And do you feel any different now that you've been doing it for a while?
Well, I've got a lot more energy. I'm a lot stronger than I, used to be. Yes, it's really a not viral, a vital point of my just general self-care.
I love that. That is wonderful.
I don't get like the runner's high that people talk about or the after exercise endorphin rush. I don't get any of that. I just feel tired. I want to go home.
Very practical in what's
don't want to do anything. But I do notice when I don't go for a while, like my mood slips and my depression's worse and my anxiety's worse. So,
like Elwood says, people who have endorphins from working out can't kill someone.
Exactly.
Hello, my lovers. Welcome to your Gay Auntie's Tips and Tricks here at Goodwill at 1604 in Blanco. Now, most people, when they want to go thrifting, they try to find for a specific thing. And I'm here to tell you, go for a specific color, a specific texture, or a specific look. Like today, I'm shopping for stuff for gay pride. And I found this. You see, when you're shopping for a very specific thing, you tend to ignore it. But if you're looking for specific colors, those will pop out more and you're more likely to have more fun. Same thing if you're looking for specific textures or specific vibes or looks. But always remember, have fun. And so back to your jewelry.
Yes.
When you're going to make jewelry, if you want to show some more of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I see
God,
you brought some goodies for us to see. I love a good show and tell.
Let me take that back.
I see horns.
Antlers, yes.
Antlers. Oh my God.
So I wore this for a performance I did at a belly dance festival up in Round Rock called Migrations. And it's a pair of deer antlers that my mother-in-law had laying around, and I put it on this headband, and these are just different findings from different cultures around the world, and beads and crystals and pearls and chain and wire. And
how did you get that to stay? What is that?
So it's on a halo headband, and it's glued underneath, and this is just some leather that my wife had. And so it's kind of sandwiched on there, and there's some of my hair in it.
It's okay. I don't think you can see.
But you put it on, and
oh wow, that is beautiful.
Thank you. So I danced on stage with this.
And how much head movement? How heavy is it?
It's not that heavy. If you want to put it on, you totally can.
Okay, we're gonna try it on.
I don't know. I don't know weight. I'm not good at small weight because I'm really strong. So
you're also tall too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. We have to keep very good poise. There we go. How do I look? Do I look ethereal? More so ethereal than I always do.
Yes. You look like a forest king.
Oh, I love it. Look how cute I look. I'm just like, is this what it feels like? I have the Chiquita banana head piece on? Because my head's now top heavy. I have a big head, but it goes out, not up.
Yeah, it's bent for me. And then, so with the halo headband, I just kind of wire wrapped it to the headband because otherwise it was too tippy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just play with stuff. I play with stuff until it works. I don't have any, I'm all self-taught. I've just, watched some YouTube videos and play with stuff.
That is stunning. I love it. And so what is the primary bread and butter of what you make outside of this big, beautiful
So outside of the big headpieces, I make a lot of, so I guess my demographic would be like the belly dance community and metaphysical community and stuff like that. I use a lot of vintage components from like thrift stores and from other countries and just wherever. And I also use a lot of crystals and gemstones. Yeah. Because rocks are cool and they're pretty.
Yeah, rocks are very pretty.
Yes. But so I do a lot of like earrings, and I just had everything packed.
Oh, it's fun. And you do shows and things.
Yeah,
right?
I do sell at in-person events. I'm really bad about taking pictures and posting it on the internet. Those are some little Labradorite with some just little findings.
I love.
And when I make stuff, I don't like to copy the same piece over and over. There will be like some themes.
That's beautiful.
Like the same bead, like the same style of beads or something like that. But I don't make the same thing over and over and over. I like to vary it up.
So every piece is unique in its way.
Every piece is one of a kind. It may have a sister or a cousin, but it's not going to have a twin.
I love that. And is that what you set out? Because her company, Oracle Moon.
Yes.
Oracle Moon. And was that what you set out to create when you started?
Yes. Something that I've noticed, and I mean, trying to figure out how to say this without like sounding like I'm talking bad about other people.
No, it's fine.
But there are like a lot of people out there will just make the same thing and just do it in different colors or just keep replicating the same piece. And that's not how my brain works.
Okay.
I get bored.
That's fair.
I get bored making the same thing over and over and over. I'll do like a run of some similar pieces and then I move on to something else.
And has that also tracked along with your choice in hobbies?
Yes. Yes. I do. So I do something for a while and then I move on to something else and then I move on to something else and then I'll circle back to the first thing, or like if I'm going to a Renaissance fair or like the LARP that we're going to, you know, I'm like, oh, I need to sew a bunch of stuff, or oh, I need to knit something for that. So
has there ever been a hobby that you tried and were like, absolutely not, I'm over it?
Whipped body butters.
Whipped body butters.
Yes, like whipping shea butter and cocoa butter and all that.
What did you not like about it?
I don't like the cleanup.
Uh-huh.
And it takes a lot. There's a lot of sitting and waiting. Uh-huh. Not a whole lot of doing.
Okay.
Because like, also like most of the things I do, I'm self-taught. I just kind of do things and figure it out.
Yeah.
So with like the whipping body butters and stuff, you know, you melt it down and then you have to get it where it's still kind of melty, but not really hard. So you can whip all that air into it.
Huh.
And then like I would just throw it in my KitchenAid and just wait. And that's boring.
Yeah. And you like things that are more hands-on,
yes.
where you get to be engaged. When you're working on any project, where does your brain go? Is it shut off? Does it calm down? I know some people, they just kind of go to another place.
So a lot of times I will either put on music or audiobooks.
Really?
While I'm working on things. Or I'll sit in front of the TV and watch a show. Nothing too taxing or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like we just finished watching The Good Wife.
How was it?
It was so good, but so bad because everyone's making the worst decisions and they're not great people.
That's fair.
But it's great storytelling.
I love that. What was that? There was a show that was recently where you hated everyone. Actually, I think it was the TV adaptation of The Mist, and you hated everyone. I think I only liked one character, and I was like, I want all these characters to die, especially that little boy. And I know that sounds awful of me, but you know what? I think it's true.
Yeah, not all main characters are good people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's storytelling, and the main character of The Good Wife made a lot of dumb decisions and screwed over a whole lot of people. And the show ended in 2017, I think, so I don't feel bad about spoiling it.
Oh my God.
But the last scene, I think it's my favorite final scene of a series ever.
Really?
It's got, oh God, what is her name? Christine Baranski. She's in Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
She plays a lawyer. And then Julian Margulies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brunette actress. She's the main character. And like a couple of minutes earlier, she had just screwed over Christine Baranski's character in court because they're all lawyers.
Yeah.
And accused her husband of cheating on her while he's on the stand and can't lie. And so the final scene is just Christine Baranski walking up to Julian Margulies' character, slapping her, and then walking off.
I've always wanted to do that. I've only done that to an ex. Bless his heart.
But it's a beautiful scene, and I feel like the main character kind of deserved it, and she got what she deserved.
I honestly
Not that, don't hit people in real life.
Don't hit people in real life.
This is a TV show.
This is all TV. Have I done it in real life?
Of course not.
No.
No.
I will neither confirm nor deny that statement.
No face, no case.
Period. This was pre-smartphone days. So, pre-smartphone days. So it's perfect. And so, wrapping up a little bit of this segment, this part, before we go to a quick talent break. What has been the thing that has stayed with you the longest that you constantly go back to in terms of your hobby? Like, yes, we have our hobbies. Like I have painting that I do randomly in a blue moon, but I do always go back to like playing video games. What is that hobby that is just the one that's like you can never get tired of it?
Dancing.
Dancing. What kind of dancing have you done in the past?
So, primarily I've done belly dancing. I did some square dancing in elementary school.
I think we all did in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Why that was on the curriculum, I'll never know, but bless our hearts.
White supremacy.
That is true.
Yep.
That's
why.
That's it.
Look it up. It's in a book.
We're going to learn how to do-si-do, and you're not going to learn cursive anymore.
Yep. But, so the style of dancing that I do, it's called Fat Chance Belly Dance style.
Ooh.
And it is improvisational. It is kind of like an amalgam of moves inspired by and from different cultures within the belly dance diaspora. And that's a whole nother topic that we can get into. But it's improvisational, and it's really more like a language of movement.
Okay.
And you're dancing with a group of people, and you all speak the same language, so you can all dance together.
Oh.
And I got my so there's certification programs for it, and I got my general skills certification program, my general skills certificate and my teacher training certificate in November. And in my class, there were 2 women who had traveled from Japan, 1 woman who lived in the area who was originally from Japan. One of the teachers was from Mexico and moved to Tennessee.
Okay.
And there was somebody else who lived in Mexico and then she's somewhere on the East Coast, but came to Tennessee for the training. And none of their first languages was English.
Really?
And I mean, they spoke English. Their English was amazing, much better than my Japanese or Spanish. So props to them for knowing another language.
Yeah.
But we could all communicate and just dance together because we know this language movement.
I love that.
And it was amazing. And so on the last day of teacher training, they had people. Oh, and we had someone whose first language was German.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a very harsh language.
So each of them got to teach a move in their original language, in their language of origin.
I love that.
And while we didn't understand the exact words, because we all knew what they were teaching us already, we could figure out what they were saying.
That is so cool.
It was absolutely amazing. It was I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It was an amazing experience.
I never would have thought using dance. Well, I understood you can use dance to tell a message, but dance to communicate amongst one another.
Yeah.
I mean, bees do it. I forgot about that. I think that was in Magic School Bus, and I'm having, what the heck was that? Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick talent break and move to our talent segment where we have a talent guest, a musical guest or musician or stand-up comic give us a little show of their talent. So let's cut to them for you to enjoy, shall we?
Otra
And we're back, my loves. I hope you enjoyed that performance. We're back with Eliza discussing her hobbies and interests as a jewelry maker. And I want to touch back on the belly dance.
Okay.
What took you there, and how has it made you feel? Because I know a lot of people feel more empowered through it.
So I started belly dancing when I still lived in Arizona. My best friend Robin was taking classes at the community center and asked me to come with her.
And this was when you were about 19, 20?
Mid-20s.
Okay. And how did that blossom and grow into, at this point, a 20-ish year?
Oh, yeah, off and on though. There's been some breaks.
Okay.
Having a community of people, and I say people specifically because not all belly dancers are women. There are plenty of men and non-binary people who belly dance. It's not just for women.
Yeah.
Anybody can dance. If you have a body, you can dance.
I love that.
And I'm sure incorporeal people can dance too.
I'm sure there are ghosts out there that are wiggling somewhere.
Oh, totally.
This place is 100 years old.
Might be dancing right here in front of the tea.
And there's a ghost twerking in front of y'all right now. It's going to cost $50 for us to show it to you in contrast. Available on Patreon.
But just having a community of people where you share an interest, it's just, I don't know, it's important.
And you love the movement.
I do. Moving and just, a lot of what I do is practice in my head, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
I'll listen to music in the car because, like I said, the style that I do, it's improvisational. I mean, you can choreograph some things using the moves, but if I was going to do choreography, I would do another style.
Okay.
What I like about the style that I do is that it's improvisational, and it's improvisational in a group.
That's beautiful.
And just being able to communicate with people without talking is fantastic.
Yeah.
And when you dance with people for a while, you build this nonverbal rapport, and you know what moves they like to throw and what things they like to do. And so a bad habit that I get into is guessing what, if I'm not the lead, is guessing what other people are going to do. It's kind of like, have you seen the improvisational swing dances?
Yeah.
So it's same concept, except you've got set moves that everybody knows, and each move has like a little cue that says, we're going to do this now.
Okay.
And it's just having that connection and being able to move simultaneously without speaking is just amazing.
That is amazing. And I love those synchronized things that just flow like, what are the birds? The birds that flow very
Ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks and geese when they migrate.
Okay,
that V formation. That's actually a very important concept in the style of dance. We call it flock of birds.
Really?
So how it's set up is you'll do it in duos, trios, quartets, and then some groups will do larger numbers if you're lucky enough to have larger numbers.
Yeah.
But you've got your leader, and then your leader's here, and then you've got another person here, and here. So you've got like 4 people. So if you're turning, your leader's going to change because you're rotating, not orbiting.
Okay.
So you're turning like this. You're not. Everybody's turning. So when the first person turns, this next person is going to become the leader until you're going around, and then that person, and then that person.
Oh, that's
so you cool. Have to watch everybody, and you can take over leadership at any time if you want. So if we're in the middle of turning, and then the person at the back it, says, I want to do a couple of things because this is what I'm hearing in the music.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to express this. That person in the back can decide to just stop and become the new leader.
That's wonderful.
So it's a lot of fun when you're doing things and where you've got like a group of people around you watching from all sides. So you can just kind of dance to these people and then dance over here without having to navigate
the whole gambit of things. I love that. And you've had a beautiful wide range of hobbies. You are 41. And as somebody who knows you, you're the most no fucks given person I've ever met. And no shit taken person I've ever met. What is advice you would give somebody, as somebody who's currently 41 and lived this life of many beautiful interests and hobbies, what would you give someone who's maybe scared to do something new, like you who never did powerlifting or anything like that? What was some advice you'd give somebody?
Life is too short.
Yeah.
It really is. I've gone through a lot of shit in my life. I'm not going to lie. I like to say that I will discuss my trauma like it's the weather.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of it. But life is really too short to not be happy. Mm-hmm. You never know when something's going to happen to you. Something's going to happen to somebody else. So just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You suck at it? So what? Everybody sucks at something. When I first started lifting weights, I couldn't even move an Olympic bar, and that's 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Now I can bench 135 pounds.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You have to suck at something to be good at it.
I think a lot of people need to learn that. And I think that helps a lot of people too.
And when you first start something, you're not going to be good at it. Mm-hmm. Nobody is. When we see people who perform and, actors and celebrities and people in music and all that, no matter what their fame level, I guess, what we see is the result of years and years of time and effort and thought put into it. We don't see the work that goes into it. We just see the end result.
Yeah.
So we don't get to see them being bad at something.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would find that valuable. We have people live over there watching from TikTok, and I think that helps a lot of people.
I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? Somebody laughs at you? So what?
I think we still carry a lot of that stuff that we had in elementary and high school.
Oh, yeah.
They're all going to laugh at you, Carol Ann. They're all going to laugh at you. And then we've carried that into adulthood. And so if you were to take on another hobby, what is something you've always, as our closing interest?
Oh, God.
What is another hobby you've always been interested in, but it's either been financially unfeasible or just something like, I'll get to that later?
Soap making.
Soap making?
Soap making.
Really?
Yes.
What interests you about soap making?
The chemistry of it.
Yeah.
Because I'll watch soap making videos on YouTube and, on TikTok and stuff like that. And watching the oils and then you add lye to it, like actual soap making, not melt and pour soaps.
Yeah.
Where you add fragrances, but starting from raw materials and going into soap, it's just really cool, but it's also really dangerous. Like you've seen Fight Club.
Yeah.
That scene where Brad Pitt pours the stuff on Edward Norton's hand?
Yeah.
That's lye.
Oh, shit.
That's what turns the oils and fats that you're using into the actual soap.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And lye is very, very, I think the word's caustic for when something's very basic.
Yeah.
Because you think of acid, you think of like the cartoon where the acid pours and it eats up everything. Lye does the same thing, except it's basic.
Okay.
So it's on the opposite end of the spectrum from acid.
Huh.
So it's very dangerous. And that danger is I'm too anxious of a person. So I'd rather watch somebody else do it. I want to do it. Yeah. Also, just the amount of materials that you need. The soap, you need special like pots and mixers and the PPE, the protective equipment. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for something that I don't know if I'm going to like,
Yeah.
you know?
Honestly, I get that way with so many hobbies too.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's expensive. I'm probably not gonna. That was me when I started out on TikTok. I was like, and she's actually the one that got me to get on TikTok. So funny enough, thank her for me being here.
See, I know what everybody needs to do in their life. People just need to listen to me.
Too many of us are ADD.
I mean, you listen to me and look at where you are now.
This is
I'm
true.
just saying.
This is true. I'm wearing a beautiful dress, addressing people both live and here on recording. Well, Eliza, I think we're at the end of our time. I want to thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
I hope you enjoyed the tea. This was an apple tea.
It's very good. I like it very light and fruity.
I know, like me. On that note, thank you, Eliza. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, we will stick around for every week. We will be putting out an episode, and make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to support Talking Tea with Auntie, we desperately need your support. Go over to my Patreon at patreon.com/ShiningNathan. As always, I love you. Take care of yourself, and remember, drink some water. Good night.